It's not really morning. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sonic and the Side Quests. This is a two-day event, day two of it. Focus on the Sonic the Hedgehog series and the speedrun categories that involve doing more than just beating the game. We're collecting Chaos Emeralds, Chaos Cough Drops, emblems, magic doohickeys, and creating an overall good future for everyone with the Sonic speedrun community at the helm of the action. Before we get started with the runs for the day, we have a few announcements. First and foremost, SGDQ 2021 Online was announced. It's had its game submissions opened and closed, and it will be airing from July 4th to the 11th. The schedule will be releasing on May 17th, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you are interested in volunteering for SGDQ 2021 Online, volunteer submissions are open now until April 23rd, and check GamestoneQuick.com for more info on those dates. That said, if you are watching this on YouTube, hi! We'd love to have you support us over on our Twitch channel. Please consider checking out our live content at twitch.tv/GDQ. Also, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you have Prime Gaming. That means you can subscribe to any Twitch channel of your choice every month for free and collect your own shiny things in the form of some awesome emotes. Please consider using your Prime Gaming account to support the GDQ Twitch channel. That said, I'm joined by TGH, running Sonic 3D Blast from across the room from me.
Hi, Amber.
Oh, hi, Jay. But day two of Sonic and the Shiny Things last year. This is a follow-up event to that from last April. This is we opened Sonic 3D Blast on day two of Sonic and the Shiny Things last year, and that was 2 players, 1 controller. I was one of those people, but this time only one person is on the controller, and it was the other half of that run, and that's TGH. So how you feeling right now?
A lot more confident with both of my hands on a controller than with just one of them.
Yeah, rather than us trying to fire our 2 collective brain cells together.
Even if we are pretty good with 2P1C, I feel a tiny bit more confident with both of my hands, on the controller. But
yeah,
feeling pretty good in all seriousness. I'm ready to have some fun.
So I just want to ask a couple of questions because I know this is very likely to go underestimate. Like, what's your history with this game? Because most people know you for like Zelda, Celeste, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you were on HOTFIX a couple of weeks ago.
It's really funny because I actually learned this game back in 2019, like very early 2019. Someone very esteemed by the name of Amber Cyprin taught me how to play this game, taught me the route and everything, and different strats to use, and it was all downhill from there. You can take that however you want. But yeah, like this has been a really fun speed game, honestly. Like there's just a really fun like nuance about the movement in this game that's really appealing to me personally. This is the only Sonic game I run. I'm a Zelda runner. What am I doing here? I run one Sonic game, but thank you for having me on for this. This is going to be Sonic 3D Blast Best Ending, where, in addition to taking the 5 flickies from each zone, putting them in the goal ring, and getting the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and doing the final fight, in addition to everything else, I think that's the sentence. I had something like, I think I've completed my sentence. So yeah, I don't know why I'm acting like I'm going to continue it. You got the idea.
It's okay. At least I got your name right, unlike poor old Clov and Argic at the start of yesterday, where I called them Old Gick and it was Old Gick and Art Clov, I think.
It's typo my name. You know what?
Yep, good old typo in my head. But I think we are just about ready to get ready for words. I'm not good at them. It is a little early for me, so it is not an Amber show without them tripping over their words. Anyways, we're about ready to go through this run. So you ready to count us down?
I'm ready. Sure. You want? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm counting down my run for sure. Okay. So yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So hi, I'm TGH, and once again, I am running Sonic 3D Blast. Nice. For the it's for the Sega Genesis. However, I am playing on the Wii Virtual Console port of the Genesis version. So as far as best ending goes, the route I do, or the route that I'm planning to do, would not be very much different if I were playing on another version. But one main difference, like just kind of fun fact difference between the Genesis version and other versions of this game is that so on the Genesis version, you can actually get more than one emerald in an act. In no other version can you do that. The other versions being the PC port from 1997 and the Saturn version, which came out, I think, a year after the Genesis version did. Also in 97, in that case, could be. But yeah, so that was Green Grove 1. And one interesting little bit of tech that you might have noticed that I did there was I left the blue flicky in the first blue flicky in Sector 1. I left it there. I just kind of like didn't collect it at all. Blue flicky's AI, in fact, like blue and purple flicky AI are very predictable, and you'll see nothing but blues and purples, I think. Maybe one red in Green Grove. It's meant to be like a sort of introduction act, and does a really good job of that. But yeah, so each color flicky has a different AI. Blues and purples will tend to wander towards Sonic or the goal ring itself. And green flickies are pretty much completely random as far as movement goes. They will wander wherever. Red flickies will bounce in place. By the way, I just saw Knuckles. Hi, Knuckles. We took 50 rings to Knuckles in order to enter the first special stage of the run. In general, that is how it works. You get 50 rings, you find Tails or Knuckles in any stage, and you complete the special stage, and that's it. These special stages are actually really difficult because it is pretty easy to fall off of the sides of these platforms. You have to be really careful. I'm just kidding. You actually can't fall off the sides. There are invisible walls on either side. They are incredibly easy. And honestly, like, this is special stages would be a good time for donations if we had donations for this particular marathon.
Oh,
but
we have a question who's
Sure.
asking for some clarification. You mentioned how you can get more than one emerald on per act in the Genesis version exclusively, unlike Saturn and PC. The way that affects the speedrun category is it actually opens up for another routing option. In a later zone, Diamond Dust, Act 2 specifically, Knuckles and Tails are actually, like, it is very possible and viable to collect both emeralds in Diamond Dust 2, which is something that you straight up cannot do in Saturn or PC, which gives us another backup emerald option. It is not the optimal way to collect emeralds, which we'll go over the optimal emerald route that TGH is going to be going for in just a moment. But a safer route is to go for both emeralds in Diamond Dust Act 2. But that said, TGH, what is your preferred emerald route
okay, so
here?
Green Grove 2, which I am playing right now, and I just got the emerald. Green Grove 2 is my first one. Rusty Ruin 2 is my second, followed by Spring Stadium 1, Spring Stadium 2, Diamond Dust 1, Diamond Dust 2, and finally Volcano Valley 2. So going for Volcano Valley 2 as my last emerald is a tiny bit risky, but I do have backups in case it fails. My backup is basically to die and do the level over, but I should be okay. Should be totally okay. So here's the first boss of the run. This is Dr. Eggman here. You know, some of you might be familiar with Dr. Eggman or Robotnik. We call him Eggman. But yeah, so that boss is pretty simple. 24 is actually the best IGT you can get on that stage, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, in general, Eggman will be in Act 3 of each zone, and you defeat him to advance to the next zone. As if the people watching don't know how Sonic works, but anyway.
Well, I mean, for people who don't,
Yeah, exactly,
sure,
exactly.
because not every Sonic game has 3 acts.
That is true.
So Rusty Ruin is a unique zone. Every zone has its own unique gimmick. Rusty Ruin are these spinning tiles that TGH just activated to break the pillars that he just broke through. Sonic, for some reason, it's as if he can't spin on his own to break things.
Absolutely not.
Needs the assistance of these spinning tiles to put him in this really hard to control ballerina state where the walls become rubber, or maybe Sonic becomes rubber. It's hard to tell. Given that Traveler's Tales developed this game alongside Sonic R, where that game is everything is made of rubber. I think they just really like the idea of Sonic being a rubber hedgehog.
Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to Traveler's Tales and John Burton.
Yeah. And this zone also introduces the green flickies, 3 of which you could see following Sonic here as Tej is depositing them into the big ring. Green flickies are the least friendly of the AI. They actually are the closest thing to actual RNG we have in this game. Fortunately, we know how the RNG is handled in this game, so it is deterministic to the frame that you are in the level. You'll also notice that TGH is ignoring picking up the flickies despite freeing them. He's picking up a Chaos Emerald in this sector in just a moment, so flickies have, he's doing what we call freed flicky flagging. I said
you
it
didn't
right
screw
this
it up.
time. I didn't. I screwed it up at SGDQ 2019. But
FFF.
that was found by Zergriff, who is a Saturn runner, and the way flickies operate is that they have 3 states. They have trapped, where they're trapped in their badniks; freed, where they are freed from the badniks, but they are wandering around unattached to Sonic; and then they have following, which is when they're following Sonic. When you enter a special stage, any freed state flickies will be set to following, like their flag will be set to following Sonic when he comes out of the special stage. That's to prevent like flickies somehow getting lost or going out of bounds, which flickies can go out of bounds, as we've discovered. Poor TGH had that happen to him once. Myself and a few other runners have had a flicky straight up despawn itself in Gene Gadget Zone, so that was fun.
That was fun. That was fun for, yeah, my case came in Panic Puppet 1, I think, where had Blue Flicky go on holiday out of bounds very early on the act.
I recommend Googling TGH_SR, Blue Flicky goes on holiday, and I think that clip should be among the first results. That clip is great. That was when Tej here had first picked up beating the Beat the Game category, which is the 90% of the category. You can't fall off the bridge in these special stages, just to answer the question I just saw in chat. And one other thing that is worth noting about the best ending category of this game is that while Saturn and PC and Genesis are all relatively identical through the Beat the Game category, where you're just collecting flickies and moving on, all 3 versions of the game have different special stages, and that actually causes them to be vastly different speedruns, you know, their load times aside. 3D Blast here has these like Mode 7 sort of style special stages, while PC has these really awful half-pipe abominations.
They're really bad.
Like, I like half-pipe because, conversely, the Sega Saturn version has special stages that were developed by Sonic Team rather than Traveler's Tales, and those are half-pipe awesomeness. Like, you actually have movement tech in those special stages. And those are really awesome. So if you don't mind load times and you want to run best ending in 3D Blast, I do recommend picking up the Saturn version if you can. I also recommend avoiding the PC version unless you want to put it in the awful block of GDQ.
By the way, that was a nice 10 on RR3. Yeah, so that was,
we didn't even get to
yeah, so that was the
explain
Ruster
You go
and 3
ahead.
quick kill. Essentially, it's a damage boost from like the body of Eggman's like body, and whatever you want to call the thing that he uses there, and up onto the paw. Oh, okay, Green Flicky. All right, Green Flicky. I see how it is. Luckily, okay, I'm actually really lucky that Green Flicky did not go all the way down. That would have been way worse than what happened.
Yeah, and losing your gold shield isn't the end of the world here, because you pick up this this Chaos Emerald coming out of this sector anyway, so you wouldn't have held on to it for very long. If you pick up any shield in the game and then go into a special stage, much like Sonic 2 without the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, you lose your shield. So the gold shield doesn't do a whole lot in Spring Stadium beyond like 3 or 4 enemies, I think.
Yeah, so like you do actually, yeah, it is both in SS1 and SS2. you end up losing your gold shield upon entering and exiting a special stage. Spring Stadium 2, this is a lot more of a difficult thing to overcome because you have a lot of actually, well, it's less so with speed shoes. It's less so without speed shoes. But yeah, we don't get speed shoes in best ending. Just because of that. Like, I don't get speed shoes in best ending in SS2 just because of that, because it's super hard to control your momentum without gold shield, like, going forward.
That's our third Chaos Cough Drop. Everyone's talking about how they look like halls. Yes, they are the Chaos Cough Drops. We had Chaos Fruit Loops last night in Knuckles Chaotix. These are the Chaos Cough Drops. Saturn and PC have the Chaos Fruit Gushers. Just like everything but Chaos Emeralds.
So tricky. Oh, jeez. Didn't hit the balloon. I was going to say tricky little movement, but it was made even trickier by that. Purple, please.
Yeah, Spring Stadium is a lot of people's least favorite zone, both for just the sheer amount of bumpers and everything, but also the boss, which we're not yet there. We have a whole other act standing between us and the worst boss in all of video gaming. But, any reason you don't get 150 rings going into that last section, so the reason why you don't, so every special stage on the Genesis version requires you to get up to 150 rings. It's 50, 100, 150 at each checkpoint. It never goes any higher or lower than that. Collecting more than 150 is fine. You only lose 10 rings per spike ball hit if you run into any spike balls. But we don't really want to collect more than about 200 or so rings, just because the score tally does begin to cost us frames at that point.
Yeah, it's like well over 200, I think, is the point where you start losing time just because of the score tally or the ring tally at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, we visited our Bud Knuckles once again. Okay, so Knuckles is actually about 10 frames faster than Tails' special stage here, which is why I made sure to get Knuckles. Honestly, it really doesn't matter, whichever one you feel more comfortable with here. But Knuckles is technically faster to get here. But sometimes, you have too much momentum and you want to, get Tails. That's fine, too. It's ultimately about the same.
Yeah, Knuckles and Tails, unique to Genesis version as well, unlike Saturn and PC, where regardless of who you go to, you get the same special stage per emerald. This game is unique in that there are technically 14 unique special stages, 7 each for Knuckles and Tails, depending on what emerald you're on. They all have different layouts. Some are more claustrophobic than others. Knuckles 6 in particular, in Tails 7 are not my favorite stages at all. A couple of the stages do have really bad jumps to make with walls and how the level is laid out. So some, usually for the most part, Knuckles stages are easier aside from Knuckles 6 and tend to have better layouts, but the difference is a matter of frames or so.
This sector is really difficult, by the way, especially the last enemy in this sector is a crab surrounded by these holes in the floor that spears come out of, pretty much infinitely vertically, and handle that pretty well. Okay, good. So that's a pretty good last sector. Yeah, they could have gone very south, but fortunately did not get hit. It's made especially bad by the fact that you have 4 flickies by that point. So if you get hit, you lose all your flickies and have to chase them all down. All right, here we go. So this is the worst boss I think I've ever seen in my life. But there is a quick kill, fortunately. You do very specific movements and jumps there. You can get an 18 IGT. And that was actually pretty good. There it is.
Yeah, the best IGT you can get is a 17 by frames, but the 18 is absolutely incredible for a no reset run. Thankfully, there are a couple of different ways to approach that boss manipulation. You are through doing your own movements. You are uniquely manipulating how the boss wants to approach Sonic, and thus keeping him in a place where Sonic can get all 8 hits off before the boss actually does its full attack cycle.
All right, so this is Diamond Dust 1.
Yeah.
The ring route here, so I will be getting an emerald in this stage. The ring route here, though, is extremely generous. I don't even really need to focus on rings that much because you get a lot of rings in this this auto-done section, pretty much. I'm going to flag this flicky here. We're going to flag these two as well, and we're just going to head over and see Tails, who is right here. Like, I didn't even really focus on rings at all, and I ended up with 64 by the time I hit Tails. Like, if I like, something went seriously wrong if I don't reach Tails with 50 or more rings there.
Yeah, so that ring route is probably the most generous in the run, because you can enter Sector 2, every big ring denoting the start of a new sector. You can enter Sector 2 with as few as, like, I think 7 rings and still be able to get 50 pretty comfortably. But obviously, if you take a hit after you do the auto-scroller where Sonic's encased in a block of ice, you've got bigger problems and you have to abandon ship and find a backup emerald elsewhere. But thankfully, we do have some of those.
Nice. All right, so there's our 5th Chaos Emerald, and with no disasters happening, we should be getting our 6th in the very next act. Oh, I didn't even go, like, so that river actually reminds me of that Snow River, with the current going the other way. There's something in this game that we call jump storage. So jump storage is Sonic's ability, and I think this is probably unique to this game, honestly. And I'm really glad it's in this game. But so jump storage is when Sonic jumps, you can hold your jump button again in the air, and Sonic will jump on the first ring possible when he lands, which is really nice for, like, safety and also for speed in a lot of cases. So jumping up that Snow River, I was actually trying my best to sort of resist the urge to do jump storage up that river because it is slightly faster. Do not do it there. But it made for a good segue into explaining what jump storage was, so I went ahead and explained it anyway.
Yeah, that is unique to just this Sonic game out of the classics. Not even Mania or any of the Sonic games after that have that sort of thing going on for it. But it is a very new player-friendly approach to the enemies.
Those 2 green flickies that got sniped from me were actually incredibly nice. Do not expect that if you ever run this. Do not expect that to ever actually happen. Green flick. Wow, what? I thought I was rolling. Okay, so we're gonna have to. All right, no, we're gonna get this. We're still gonna get this emerald. I don't feel like doing a backup. So, well, a backup other than this. So we're just gonna get these rings here. We should be fine.
Yeah, you would have been more than fine, because you only need, like, 28 rings minimum to go into the next sector for Knuckles. So you didn't really even need to go up those stairs.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I had enough, though. Like, and I like having more than 28 anyway. I think 28 is, like, the bare minimum, but...
Yeah, 28 is the bare minimum.
Yeah, but this makes it so I can just do that. Oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is Knuckles 6. This is my least favorite special stage out of these, just because there comes a point where there's a lot of spike balls, and they're not necessarily hard to dodge, but they get, if you're not paying attention, which very often I'm not, because these special stages are auto-scrollers, it's usually just a case of, oh, wait, I took a hit. Whoops, there goes a second of my time. You only lose about a second for taking damage in these stages. Per hit, that is.
Yeah, if you do these special stages enough, they become very dry.
Oh yeah.
And they get faster too, though. They if you've noticed, like, you know, this special stage was faster than the last, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so when you do a set of no resets, it's actually really funny because going from Tails 7 or Knuckles 7 to Knuckles or to Knuckles 1 at the start of a new run, it's very, very jarring how slow Knuckles 1 is in comparison.
Yeah, that itself is definitely more jarring than them speeding up gradually. Going from the fastest one and then like doing another run, they're just going to see Knuckles 1 again. It's like, okay, I'm like barely moving. All right, so here we have Diamond Dust 3, where I'm gonna attempt a strat, and I like to shout out Void for making. Actually, I think it was the only kid who found this strat via making the task.
Passing, yeah.
And Void made a setup that was RTA viable, and I'm kind of using my own adaptation of that. Void's setup is more horizontal, mine is more vertical. Like I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of work better with the vertical, but. Yeah, so you.
So what is this?
So I'm using the snowmen to increase my height slightly, or increase my jump height slightly to be able to hit Eggman sooner in the air. So you'll notice that every few seconds he'll like start descending. My aim with bouncing on the snowmen is to get myself higher so that I can hit Eggman sooner. And that was very close to a 48 IGT. I could tell by the music, but 49 is also really good.
So Volcano Valley is a zone full of lava, if you can't tell, and oh, nice.
I gotta, yeah, be careful of that blue flicky there.
Yeah, so generally speaking, Volcano Valley 1, we don't pick up a fire shield. It would be nice if we did, and I recommend any new runner to pick up a safety fire shield just to be able to ignore the all of the lava and fire hazards in the stage. But eventually it does cost a lot of time to go get that, so as you get better at the game, which comes with practice, this game is a very easy to pick up but very high skill ceiling run because it's entirely movement based, it is glitchless. You want to start phasing out that fire shield. Volcano Valley 2, on the other hand, we want the fire shield, we don't want to lose the fire shield, except in Best Sending, where we will be getting our last Chaos Emerald there. I myself don't do that route at all. I actually pick up my last Chaos Emerald here in Volcano Valley 1 because it's significantly safer. And during the time I was actively running this game, I was primarily a marathon showcase runner for the game, so I would submit it and want to make sure that I can finish my run.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this category, honestly, is that like it's one of the coolest things about it is that is both the on-the-fly emerald routing and ring routing even, which I actually kind of showcased a little bit of earlier in Diamond Dust 2. But like there are a bunch of different emerald routes to take as far as like levels to use for emeralds and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, TGH is picking up 47 rings here, and we'll end up with 50 by the time he reaches Tails towards the beginning of Sector 2, which he's entering now.
I found
he'll do the tail.
I found a neat little strat here, actually. Sorry to interrupt you. I found a neat little strat here. If you sit right in the corner and spin dash straight right, press nothing, you'll get 3 rings and hit Tails automatically. And it's pretty fast. Just go up to the corner and spin dash straight right at full speed. So I didn't even talk about spin dashing, by the way. Spin dashing can be very slightly faster in a lot of different circumstances, except when it's required, when it's obviously, required to break through walls and stuff. But so spin dashing, if you hold the spin dash button, you will spin dash like automatically. Like you'll rev up automatically up to 4 different stages of revving, which equates to more speed the higher you go. But so another way to do it though, which is faster, and if you can mash fast enough, you can actually get to be faster in a bunch of different places, is if you hold the spin dash button and mash the jump button, you can rev it manually as well. And that's what I'm doing. If you see it like rev super quickly, like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, since it typically revs on its own automatically, but you can speed that up. It is optimal. You'll see, like, if you ever watch the tasks of this game, and the tasks that are out there by The Only Kid, which I helped work on the routing for the best ending one, those tasks are incredible, and they abuse spin dashing, because you can do frame perfect spin dashes, whereas humans simply just cannot. It's not possible. But it doesn't mean that we can't use certain spin dashes in a advantageous way at a high level. For the most part, though, like, most runners would recommend, if you are just starting out, ignore like most spin dash strats, save yourself the trouble, and just run, because it's significantly easier to control. There's a couple that are just straightaways, and you could spin dash those, I guess. By the way, that was a boss. That was something resembling a boss.
Oh,
But,
okay.
we're entering Gene Gadget Zone, which is in our opinion, I know both of us have the same opinion, this is the hardest zone in the game, both casually and speedrun-wise. If you can learn this zone as a speedrun, you can speedrun anything else in this game.
Absolutely agreed.
When TGH in 2018 approached me to learn this game, he asked me, where do I start, like, learning this game? And I told him, Gene Gadget. I was like, Gene Gadget 1 and Gene Gadget 2. If you can learn those levels, those are the hardest in the game. Everything else is not a problem by comparison.
By the way, Chaos Emeralds are done. We've gotten all the Chaos Emeralds, and now all that's left is to basically just do a beat the game run until we reach the final fight, which is after the final boss of beat the game, or 90%.
Yeah, so you'd think that you could turn super in this game. No. That is a feature in the Supersonic in 3D Blast mod of the game, as well as the Director's Cut mod. But TGH and I, neither of us really speedrun the Director's Cut version, because it does vastly change the movement and the physics, and it makes Sonic too fast. Like, this level design was not made with Sonic being in constant speed in mind. So it seems kind of counterintuitive. There is an active runner of the game. Goodnight runs the 3D Blast Director's Cut and sings its praises quite highly. So it is a matter of preference, I suppose, but they are two very different feeling speed games.
Yeah, it's the movement, like the extra speed of movement combined with the weirdness of the camera for me that really just makes me not like it that much. Because to accommodate for the increase in speed, the camera like moves way ahead of where you're going, like almost like so much as to where like Sonic is almost off the screen to one edge when the camera shifts. Oh.
Also, TGH just very casually handled the Slope of Rage.
Oh, I didn't even talk about
that
Slope of
where
Rage,
he got 3 different flickies. I named that the Slope of Rage a long time ago because it is a point of contention for a lot of new runners. There are a couple of different visual cue setups you can use to approach that very well and like very reliably. But if you are going in without any sort of like help or visual aid or watching other runs, that can cost you minutes of time if you keep falling down the slope. But that didn't happen, so
thankfully it didn't. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that like for new runners, like that's probably one of the hardest stages to like, I mean, maybe it's not the hardest stage to learn, but it's the best one to learn about, well, slopes in general. Oh, that's great. That's a good start to the boss. But yeah, Giga 2 is let's just say it's called the Slope of Rage for a very good reason.
Oh yeah. And this boss has the one piece of tech it's got is angling Sonic at a 90 degree angle from the way the conveyor belt is going. If you're on the left side of the conveyor belt, you aim Sonic directly to the right, and he will progress at 3 pixels per second. That doesn't work in Director's Cut, by the way, because of the sped up physics. but also, or the adjusted physics rather. And then if you are on the right side of the conveyor belt and aim Sonic straight up, he also progresses at 3 pixels per second. Gene Gadget has no special stages. Your cutoff is Volcano Valley. If you do not have all 7 emeralds by the end of Volcano Valley 2, you will not be getting the best ending. So Gene Gadget and Panic Puppet both have no special stages. They do have special stages in the director's cut. The director's cut negatively affects the way we do our routing for best ending in this game, because you are required to get 1 emerald per zone, not per act, per zone, and Knuckles and Tails were forcibly inserted, in a sense, into Panic Puppet and Gene Gadget, and their locations are not intuitive, and the ring layouts were not adjusted to give us enough rings to be able to get those emeralds, so it becomes significantly harder and just not very fun, in my opinion.
That was a really good Panic Puppet one.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
So shout outs to Lexi, by the way. I'm gonna try to nail her jump real quick. Oh, I almost got it. Oh, that was so close. Okay, so yeah, so a runner by the name of Lexi has found quite a bit of jumps in this game, and yeah, that's Lexi jump 1. I'm pretty sure earlier I failed Lexi jump 2. Also like Lexi jump 3, 4. Sure, there are decimals in there somewhere too, but yeah, shout outs to Lexi.
Yeah. So this is the last regular stage in the run. You'll notice in the bottom right there are no flicky indicators. There are no flickies in this stage.
We gotta do something
Just
real
a bunch
quick.
of hazards. And
Eggman!
Eggman! Shout outs to Swezzy, another runner of this game who spawned that meme.
All right, here we go. So this is mandatory isometric platforming, and got it. Nice.
Yeah, you made that look really easy. For most people, no, it is. It is not.
You might have noticed, yeah, like you might have noticed in some places earlier where there are like moving platforms that are floating in the air, where you have the option to jump on them, but you can also just kind of jump over them. That one right there is actually mandatory, hence the name mandatory isometric platforming, or MIPPing as it's affectionately called.
Yeah, I came up with that dumb name. I came up with a lot of dumb names in this game, and they all stuck.
So this is the final boss of the beat the game category. This is what would be the final boss if I did not collect all the emeralds. However, there is another fight after this, which is best ending, or how you get the best ending, I should say.
I see the entire 3D Blast crew just coming out and yelling Eggman, by the way.
Eggman. Alright, so yeah, phase 1 of this fight is definitely the hardest. There are 3 phases. The first one where his arms kind of come down like pummeling on you. The second phase, oh wow, what the hell?
Wow, that blue ball was out to get you. Aghanim comes back with a vengeance.
That blue ball had it out for me. I've never seen that. That was just like a heat-seeking missile. What the hell?
Yeah, I've never seen one of those act quite like that. We like to jokingly call this the Aghanim phase because if anyone is familiar with Zelda speedruns, Aghanim is notorious for shooting these blue energy balls that are absolutely useless and just massive time losses in the runs that he appears in, such as like Link's Awakening on Switch or Link to the Past. Eggman shoots blue balls in his final phase in Panic Puppet 3, and we're gonna T-pose to assert our dominance real quick.
If I had the room to
That was like I was like, you don't even have the room to T-pose, so you just did jazz hands.
Okay, so I think I might actually be able to pull off a 37 here if this fight is really good.
So you'd think after collecting all the Chaos Cough drops, you'd maybe have a really cool boss fight like you get in Doomsday Zone and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which closed day 2 of, or day 1 of this event. No, you get this this fight. No supersonic, no space. You just end up in this void with this really like chill tune, which I actually really love this
Oh
music.
yeah, this music's good. The rest of the fight though is not. To be perfectly
Good.
frank with you.
No, you get this, like you get this fight, and it's better than Sonic Blast, best ending fight, but it is not much better.
So you might be wondering like what makes this fight so bad? Like why don't you like this? Like don't get me wrong, the aesthetic of the fight is really cool and like the idea is really cool. The problem is the repetition of the fight. And there's just a lot of standing around like right now. And just like, you know, waiting for the 8th noise of the siren sounding sound.
Siren.
I don't know what you'd even call that sound. The crescendo, if you will. But yeah, so there are 5 phases to this fight, and they're each done twice, and there are zero variations. There's 0 variations to these phases. It's just you do them once, and then you repeat, and then you do them again, and they're exactly the same. That's my beef.
This phase is really cool. This is my favorite phase because TGH and I in combination. TGH found this safe spot to stand in. There's a couple of different ones, but this is like the best one. And I just implemented the spin dash. But that phase is great because Eggman's just firing a bunch of bouncing balls around to like try to like hit Sonic, and the safest place and fastest place to stand in is directly in front of him, and he cannot touch you.
That's how you know that was an optimal hit, because Sonic did not get knocked back at all, and I just landed right on his hands. Perfect. So even though it has a negative outcome, that means I hit him on the first frame I could have. Yeah, what I'm doing on this phase, by the way, is you see how these hands, like, these hands are going to retract after 3 times of, like, you know, trying to slam down on me. The spot they retract to is the same every time, so I need to get them in this position so that they have the least amount of travel time going backwards. And I was actually lucky to grab a ring again there.
Yeah, this, because of the way the particles on the floor act, it kind of overloads the sprites, and rings, if you haven't noticed, if there's a lot going on the screen, because the game is technically pushing the Genesis almost to its limit graphically, the rings disappear really, really fast in this level in particular. And accidentally making the wrong move or timing the wrong jump can cost you up to 4 minutes if you die in the final hit of the boss.
Hopefully that won't happen.
I have totally not lost runs to that.
All right, so time is going to be after this hit when the screen fades completely to black. We're just going to wait here until right about now. Jump. So Eggman's dead. And time.
GG.
That's the run. That's Sonic 3D Blast best ending.
That looked like it was just shy of a 37?
Yeah, I think it's a 3806 or a 3807, depending on when you hit the timer.
3806. So still a very good run.
I'm happy with that for a marathon for sure. Thank you all for having me. Seriously, it's been an honor to be a part of this, and huge shout outs to Amber for putting all this on, as well as Final Flame Argic for helping make the schedule as well. Shout out to the tech behind the scenes, everyone, Richard, Railcoon, and just everyone for being a part of it. And thank you as well, all the viewers for coming out and supporting HOTFIX. So
yeah, it is much appreciated. I'm glad that you submitted 3D Blast, because if you didn't, I would have to, because 3D Blast I have the softest spot for in the classic Sonic series as a speed game. Because it is the classic Sonic I could pick up and start running, and I did that like 6, 7 years, maybe 8 years ago now, and kind of never looked back. But seriously, thank you so much for that run. That run is awesome. Absolutely. By the way. TGH recently went into this category and re-optimized it, because like it's still not, I think it's still not quite fully optimized,
No,
but it is definitely getting closer.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But yeah, it's still a run that I'm pretty happy with though overall. By the way, shout outs to the IISM, yeah, International Isometric Salt Mine.
I have business cards. I really
do. I'm not. Yeah, they're not kidding. They're not joking.
But seriously, shout outs to the 3D Blast community. Y'all have been a second home for me. And is one of the reasons I got as involved in the Sonic community as I have. So, without 3D Blast and even SA2 to a degree, Sonic Adventure 2 was my first serious speed game, and that's gonna be closing the event. But like, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be organizing this event for HOTFIX. So I'm very happy that y'all have supported us up to this point. But I think we're gonna continue a block of runs. We've got a block of runs here. We had Sonic 3D Blast. Coming up next, we have Focus Sight with Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, which is Silver Story all gold medals. And then we'll have Animus United with Sonic the Hedgehog GBA, all emeralds. We have 3 Sonic games that are like generally critically panned, and it's like the awful block of this event, and without actually being awful, like fantastic speed games, just critically panned. But we do I have a couple of announcements. Just a reminder to everyone, if you like what we're doing here for Sonic and the Side Quests over this weekend, HOTFIX does have regular content throughout every week. So we do have information on all of our HOTFIX shows that is available at gamesdonequick.com/HOTFIX. From there, you can find out more information about what our shows are, what they do, and how to submit your runs to any of our weekly shows. I host 2 bi-weekly shows myself. The techs we have, Richard and Railcoon, host their own shows, and there's a whole other slew of shows in between ours. So definitely take a look at that and consider supporting us throughout the week as we air our regular HOTFIX content. We're not done yet, though. We are going to be taking a quick break as we get Sonic 06 ready by Focus Sight, so that's going to be a run and a half. So sit down or maybe stand up and take a quick stretch break, get some water, and buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride from here on out.